Boom! What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. Inflation is red hot. Red hot. CPI numbers came out today. Consumer Price Index actually above every single expectation from every single analyst, from every single financial institution out there. 8.9 was the highest estimate from the credible financial sources that are out there. Obviously, you see some people out there posting online that are talking about 9.8 and 10.2. Those aren't from credible sources, but all of your financial firms and all around on Wall Street, we're looking at 8.9 all the way down to 8.5. Number comes in at 9.1, way higher than expected. What does that mean now going forward from here? Because let's not forget, we also have another piece of inflation data coming out, and that's tomorrow. You got some information today. We're going to go over exactly what happened, what that information was. Okay, that CPI data, what it means for the stock market crash, what it means for the recession that is most likely already underway. But what does that all mean for your money? And what does that all mean for the opportunity that you are now presented with? And how the hell do we trade this market here now going forward? Because you had the CPI number today. That was extremely important. But you want to know what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's the PPI number. That's more inflation. But you know what else is tomorrow? You start earnings. You're getting JP Morgan tomorrow. You're getting a bunch of the banks and the financial institutions. So we're going to actually hear from them directly. What is the state of the consumer? How much money do the consumers actually have saved? What is the balance sheet of those consumers? What are financial institutions doing in preparation for this recession that everybody keeps talking about? What are the biggest financial institutions in the world doing? How bad do they think it's going to get? We're going to find out tomorrow when JP Morgan reports earnings, and then you're going to get the rest of the financials. And then next week, you get even more earnings as the bulk of the S&P 500 starts coming out with their earnings and they give their guidance for the rest of the year. That is the most important piece of information, more important than even the CPI inflation data that you got today. We have so much to talk about. We have to unpack all of it, because if inflation didn't peak, or did it, I'll talk about that later on in this live stream. We're going to break down the CPI number. We're going to talk about what to expect out of PPI tomorrow. We're going to talk about what to expect out of earnings. And I'm going to give you a very specific game plan on how I plan on trading this market for the next week. There is a specific trade that I'm going to put on. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think this market does, exactly how I plan on trading it, and how I plan on making money from it. We're going to break it all down right here on this live stream, so you guys are in the right place. But why should you give two rats' asses about what I have to say or why my opinion matters? I'm glad that you all asked, folks. My name is Michael Edward. I've been trading and investing for 15 years, and I started my career working at a fund in New York City, my very first job. Then a year later, 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession and the stock market crash, but also the same exact year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Okay, now 15 years later, I'm the head trader and co-founder of True Trading Group, the fastest growing and highest rated premium online educational stock market platform that is geared to leveling the playing field for the retail trader and investor. And since 2016, my team of 8 other professional traders, aside from myself, have helped thousands of people from all over the world, from all walks of life, achieve their financial goals. Make no mistake about it. Every single one of you that are watching this live stream right now are here for one very specific reason, and that is to gain the information and the knowledge that can help you to make money in this stock market, this crazy stock market, but not just make money in this stock market 2 years from now, make money in this stock market immediately. That's why you guys are here. So take a moment, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's share this stream on your own social media channels. Let's educate, reach out, and empower as many retail traders and investors as we possibly can. This live stream is going down as follows. I'm going to give some time for people to log on. I have so much information that I have to talk to people about. So many people saw that 9.1 CPI number today, completely, totally crap their pants, but then the market didn't tank the entire day like a lot of people thought. I'm going to tell you exactly why I think it is that the markets didn't tank today. We traded lower. Yes, we tanked as soon as the number came out. We had what? Sticker shock. That's exactly what I said last night on the live stream, that when you get the CPI number today, you are probably going to get sticker shock. I didn't think it was going to be 9.1. That even was a surprise to me on how high that 9.1 was, but there's a very specific reason why that number was so high, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it here now. That is the worst CPI number that you, my friends, are going to see for the remainder of the year. I do not believe you are going to see another CPI number that is higher than 9.1. What does that mean? We're going to break it all down in this live stream. So I have so much to talk about, right? And what does all this mean then for the Federal Reserve? What's the Federal Reserve going to do now? And their actions will directly, not indirectly, directly affect whether or not we go into a recession. Some people think we're already in one. We may be. But how deep is that recession going to be? We're going to talk about it. But first, Q&A. I'm going to open the floor, give some time for people to log on, ask me questions, whatever's on your mind. Okay, whatever you guys are thinking about, I want you guys to ask me. There's no such thing as a stupid question, no such thing as a silly question. Don't be shy, don't be embarrassed, right? When you ask, that's why you guys are here. Asking questions is how you learn. Trust me, I used to annoy the crap out of my boss, who was one of the senior partners at the hedge fund and was my mentor. I used to annoy the crap out of this guy. I would ask him a million questions a day. He probably hated me. But that's how you learn, right? Asking questions how you learn. So don't be embarrassed about it. I ask one thing of you. Hold your questions about CPI and PPI. Hold those questions for later in the live stream, because the main topics of the live stream tonight is the red hot inflation data that we got today from CPI, what to expect out of PPI inflation data tomorrow, and what to expect from earnings, and literally what the market is going to do for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to break it all down for you here right now and give you a very specific trade that I'm going to put on that you guys can follow along with. Okay, so ask questions. Let's start typing our questions in chat right now. Don't be shy, don't be embarrassed. And let's go ahead right now, gang, and let's begin that Q&A. All right. Here we go. First question from WW Music Man. Do we see a flip tomorrow? We still haven't gotten broader capitulation. Will we, or did we already bottom? Great question. No, I do not believe that we've already bottomed. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I think the markets are going to do over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to talk about that in more detail later on in the live stream, but I do not believe that the market has bottomed just yet. When you say, will we flip tomorrow? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by will we flip tomorrow. But I think that we see more downside over the next 2 weeks. All right. I don't necessarily think that the bottom here is in. I think that we have a little more volatility, and I'm still bearish. I'm still leaning on the short side. I'm not yet buying dips. I am shorting rallies. And I'll talk to you a little bit more in detail about the specifics later on in the live stream. But I do not necessarily think that the bottom is in. I think at the minimum, we test the June low. At the minimum, I think we test the June low. But I think my base case is a break of that low and a little bit more downside. I'm not in the camp that we see this like 40 or 50% crash in the market this year. I'm not in that camp. I know you have some people that are online talking about, 80%, market's going to crash 80%. No, it's not. The market, the S&P has actually never crashed 80%, nor will it. The worst stock market crashes that you've ever seen in any of our lifetimes for the S&P 500 was about 55%. And that was the 08 crash with the Great Recession. And that was the dot-com bubble in the early 2000s. Okay, so those are the absolute worst case scenarios, and we went down about 50 to 55%. All right. So when you look at it that way and you use those two scenarios, which were complete disaster recessions, that were major recessions, deep, long-lasting recessions, those we only went down 50, 55%. And I say only, I mean, that's a lot, but it puts it into perspective that, okay, use that as your barometer as a worst case scenario type of situation. These people that are out there online, like these people on YouTube and these people on all these different networks that are like, stock market's going to crash to 80%. They're just trying to scare the crap out of you to get clicks and to get views, because sensationalism, exaggeration, that stuff gets clicks, that stuff gets views. And that's how those people make money. That's not how we make money. That's not how I make money, by getting clicks and views. Okay, so what I do, I come on here and I try to educate you guys to very simple, help you make money. And that means I'm not giving you sensationalism. I'm not giving you superlatives. I'm not giving you exaggerations. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I'm not going to fear monger you. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is, fully transparent, and exactly what I'm doing with my own money. And you guys can take that for what it's worth. And hopefully that helps you guys make better decisions for you and your family. All right. So I will talk about this more later on in this live stream. I promise. WWE Music Man, I'll give you guys my exact analysis and game plan of what I think this market does over the next 2 weeks. Matt Kung says, hey, Mike, what's up, Matt? Is this a good time to buy oil on the dip, or with recession talk, is the oil trade over and we should stay away? Okay, excellent question. So I think there's a bounce left in oil. I don't necessarily think that oil is just dead. Okay. I think you're going to get a bounce here in oil. But the recession fears are real when it comes to oil. And when you get a recession, that's bad for oil. Okay. Oil prices go down historically in a recession. All right. I just don't think that I think the top in oil could very well be in. I think the top in oil is in. What I'm really thinking about now when it comes to oil is playing a technical bounce. All right. Was looking today. One of our trade ideas today actually worked out very well. It was a trade on Occidental Petroleum, OXY, and a lot of our members were able to capitalize on that trade today on OXY. And it was actually a long play that we had there on OXY, and a lot of our members, let me just pull it up on my screen for you guys. A lot of our members were able to capitalize on this move here in the morning on this long play on Occidental. So I'm actually sitting here thinking that there's a technical play here for a bounce back in oil, and I'm actually looking for Occidental to get back up into the low 60s as I expect a bounce back in oil. But I don't think that oil is going to roar back to $125, $135 a barrel. I don't think that you're going to see that because there's too much talk of a recession and there's too much of an economic slowdown for oil to get back up to 120, 130. But you still have supply issues because of years of underinvestment in oil industry and in different sectors of the oil, like niche sectors within the oil sector. Years of underinvestment has really created a supply problem, both from the drilling side, but also on the refining side. And that imbalance is something that is still very, very real. So I think you can still get a little bit of a bounce in that as like the Chinese economy opens back up from their COVID lockdowns. But then you're going to get the pressure, and where you're going to get a lid is going to be on top of oil prices because of the fears of the recession. So do I think you're going to see oil back to 120 a barrel? I do not. But do I think you can see a technical bounce in oil for a trade? Yes, I think you can. It's actually one of the trades that I'm watching for very closely. And oddly enough, I talked about this trade. I've been talking about this for the last 2 days. Oddly enough, Dan Niles, who's a hedge fund manager that I actually respect pretty greatly, and him and I usually actually agree with a lot of the stuff that he says. He's actually calling for a 30 to 50% drop in the S&P. I think that is excessive. I think, could we get to 30? Yeah, I think we can get to 30, but that's about as bad as I think that it gets. In order for us to get down to where we'd be down 40 or 50%, you've got to have like a sovereign debt crisis that is just contagion. All this spreads across the global financial world, which I don't necessarily see that happening. But that's the only way that I think the markets go down, like another 50% sell-off like we had in 08 to 09 rather. And then what you saw during the dot-com bubble. So I'm not in that camp. I actually disagree with him on how low this market's going to go. But he actually just said today that he was buying oil ETFs. Okay, so some of the oil ETFs, let me just actually find his tweet for you guys. Where am I? Just go to my Twitter and I'll just pull it up for you guys. I'll just give you guys the ETFs that he actually tweeted about today. These are ETFs, they're not individual stocks. XOP, XLE, and OIH. XOP, XLE, and OIH. Okay. So those are just a couple of the ETFs that he has actually has added to recently, as it looks like he is also expecting a bounce in oil. So I think that there's a technical trade here, Matt, but I don't think you should not be expecting oil to go back to the all-time highs. Hope that helps answer your question, Matt. Next question, folks. Don't be shy. Asking questions is how you learn. Oh my God, push-ups. I love, you're so active on these live streams. Oh my God, push-ups. I feel like every night we have a question from you. I love it. Hey, Mike, when the market bottoms, what kind of numbers should I be looking for on S&P 500 so that I know the market is bottomed? Okay, that's not, listen, you're not going to actually know that the market's bottomed for months after the fact. Okay, let me just be very clear about that. There is no one that, I mean, you'll have some people that will try to call bottoms, but you'll never actually know the bottom is in until several months later. And that's just the reality of how the stock market has always worked, which is why I always tell people, and I always tell my members to not try to pick the exact bottom of the market, okay? Because trying to pick the exact bottom, you ask any professional that does this for a living, that works on Wall Street, you ask any one of them, all right, what, you know, like, where is the bottom? When is the bottom? I'll tell you where I think the bottom is, but I'm not just sitting back and doing nothing until that is reached, because nobody actually really knows for sure. And to try to pick the bottoms, honestly, it's a fool's game. I think the S&P bottoms out in the 3,500s. Okay, we got down to 3,600s there in June. When we got to the 3,600s, I added a nice chunk of change in my long-term portfolio, but I still have cash sitting on the sidelines ready to be deployed, because I think we're going to take one more move to the downside. But as you can see, like on June 17th, okay, on June 17th, which is this day right here, which currently right now is the low of the year, but I don't necessarily think that that's going to hold as the low of the year. But for right now, it stands as the low of the year. But that's the day that I added a bunch of stuff in my long-term portfolio. But as you can see, I'm sitting here now telling you, well, I think the markets actually go lower. So then people might ask, well, then why did you add at that moment? And that's how I always build, value and wealth in my long-term portfolio, is that when markets decline, you have to identify your buying zones, like the areas of the market that you feel comfortable stepping in and buying. You can't wait for the exact price that you think is the bottom, because what happens if you say, I think the bottom is 3,400? What happens if we never get to 3,400? What happens if we go to 3,500 and then by the end of the year, we're back to 441.50? What happens at that point? You've done absolutely nothing. You missed out on a phenomenal opportunity to buy some high quality companies at significantly lower prices than where they were trading over the last 2 years. So you don't want to just wait for that bottom. I can tell you guys this, every single moment throughout history, there's not many times that you can say something in the stock market has happened 100% of the time. Like, I'll be the first person to tell you that when it comes to trading, nothing works 100% of the time, except this one fact, not 90% of the time, right? Not 95% of the time, 100% of the time that the stock market, or the S&P 500 specifically, has gone down more than 20% in 1 year. 100% of the time in history, that proved to be a buying opportunity. Now, does that mean that once you go down 20%, you can't go down more? Of course you can, right? It's happened many times in the past. We went down 36% during the COVID crash of 2020. We went down like 55% from the 2007 all-time high to the low of 2009. We went down about 55%. Okay, of course you can go down more than 20%. But the point is, and this is actually a fun fact that many people may not know, did you know, would anyone like to know what percentage of the time, okay, what percentage of the time, 3 years following a recession, 3 years later, the stock market is lower? Would anybody like to take a guess of what percentage in history, okay, going back to, if you looked at every single recession that the U.S. economy has ever had, going back to the post-war era, would you like to know the percentage of times that the stock market was down within 3 years of a recession? And the answer is 0. 0% of the time. 0. So you're talking now every single recession that we have ever had. Now, what is the average decline of a recession? The average decline of a recession is about 30%. A 30% decline is the average decline. And you want to know the length of the average decline of a recession? 9 months. Well, guess what? We're 6.5 months in to our decline right now. Okay. The markets have declined for 6 months. The average recession gives you a 30% drop in the markets and lasts for about 9 months. And every single recession we've had in history, these are facts, within 3 years, every single recession, 0% of the time was the market still down. 0. And actually, if you want to now go a little further, when you go to like 5 years after, you're looking at triple-digit gains on following those recessions. Those are the facts. So when people are trying to talk about, hey, I'm trying to pick the bottom, it's a fool's game to try to pick the bottom. Count your blessings that the market is giving you an opportunity to stop buying stocks at ridiculous valuations and prices like they were at last year when everyone on Reddit is talking about it. Count your blessings that you have an opportunity to invest in high quality names. I'm not talking about Virgin Galactic. I'm not talking about Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm not talking about GNUS. I'm not talking about those companies. I'm not talking about Workhorse or Wish or any of these garbage companies that have been stuffed down your throat for the last year and a half on Reddit and Twitter. I'm talking about real quality names. I'm talking about AMD. I'm talking about NVIDIA. I'm talking about Snowflake. Okay. I'm talking about Qualcomm. I'm talking about Microsoft. I'm talking about Alphabet. I'm talking about Amazon. These are the companies that I'm talking about. You know, Tesla. These are the companies that we're talking about. You just have to be educated enough to understand where the opportunity lies and not just go, oh, this stock's down 80%, so I'm going to go and buy that stock because it's down the most. Newsflash. If the stock's down 80% and you have another stock that's down 27%, I'm going to buy the one that's down 27%. Why? There's a reason why that stock's down 80%. And there's a reason why this stock's down 27%. It's because hedge fund managers, mutual funds, professionals don't want to sell the one that's down 27%. That's why it's only down 27%. The stock that's down 80%, every single professional in the world was like, the hell with this piece of garbage. I don't want this. That's why all the airlines and cruise lines, that's why they got crushed during COVID. But what did every single uneducated investor do during COVID? They all bought Carnival Cruise Lines. They all bought American Airlines. Why? Because it was down the most. And that's the mindset of an inexperienced investor that doesn't know any better. It's not your fault. You're not educated. No one taught you this stuff. There's a reason why those stocks were down 75%, but Apple was only down 25%. And now, where are we today? Right? Well, let's just take a look. Let's just take a look at where Apple is, where Apple stands today. Okay. Take a look at where Apple stands today from where we were during the COVID crash. That was the COVID crash. Are you kidding me? Look at where we are. Even after this crash, look where Apple is from where it was. Account for the split. It was a $60 stock. Now it's at $145. Even with this stock market decline. Well, now let's go take a look. Let's take a look at American Airlines. Let's see how American Airlines is doing, right? Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at American Airlines. Oh, well, look at that chart. Let's take a look at Carnival Cruise Lines. Oh, look at that chart. There's a reason why those stocks are down as much as they are. There's a reason why Robinhood is at $8. There's a reason why Rivian's at $30. There's a reason why Coinbase is at $53. Right? There's a reason why these stocks are at all-time lows. There's a reason for that. All right. So listen, guys, I know I'm kind of getting a little off topic right now with this kind of stuff, but it's so important that I put this stuff into perspective for you, because you need to hear these facts. You need to hear these numbers. This isn't even my opinion anymore. I'm like, you don't even have to agree with with my thoughts and my views on the market. Just listen to the facts. Look back at history. The charts don't lie. Investing in a recession is the greatest wealth building opportunity that retail investors ever have. Everything's on sale. Everything. And this is where we are right now. We're going to find out on July 28th. We get Q2 GDP numbers. We're going to find out if we're already in a recession. We very well possibly could already be in one. If we're not in one already, we're going to be in one within the next 6 to 12 months. If we're not in one already. Everybody talks about, oh, last year was the greatest investment opportunity. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Last year was not the greatest investment opportunity. It wasn't. You chased everything at their all-time highs at unrealistic and unsustainable valuations. You want to know what the greatest investing opportunities of our lifetimes were? 2008, 2001, 2020. Those were the greatest investing opportunities of our lifetimes. You're about to get another one. Next question. Well, Tom Altiano, I'll get to you in a second, but damn you, Oceanside guy. Damn you. Oceanside guy goes, Mike, I'm really glad you got rid of that Yankee hat. I will never get rid of my Yankee hat, Oceanside guy. Don't forget, best record in baseball. All right. Let's see. Tom Atanasio. Hi, Mike. What's up, Tom? If you can't day trade but think the market is spinning down, why not buy into ETNs like SPXU? Let me see. Listen, you certainly can. You certainly can. There's so many different ways, Tom. There's so many different ways that you guys can benefit from the markets going down. There are you can buy put options. You can buy you can trade futures on the S&P itself. You could do call options on like the VIX and UVXY, where UVXY is the ETF that tracks the VIX, or you can buy inverse ETFs. Okay. Inverse ETFs, all right, like an SPXU, okay, which is what you're asking me, you could buy these inverse ETFs, okay, you could. But there's a big problem with these inverse ETFs, these leveraged ETFs that you all must be made aware of. These are not ETFs that you want to hold for the long term, okay? Whenever you're dealing with a leveraged ETF, you need to understand, okay, that these will always work themselves down to zero. Okay, you can see that they will always work themselves down to zero, and they will just continuously do these splits to reverse themselves. Okay, they will always work themselves down to zero. They are just meant, okay, to offset moments of brief volatility. Okay. So listen, is this something that you can buy and hold on to for a couple of days or maybe a week or 2 weeks if you think you're going to have a downturn in the markets? Yes, but it's not something you want to hold on to for multiple months, because as the downward action in the markets stop and subside, all of your leverage ETFs, okay, will then start working themselves back down to zero. Okay, it's no different than like UVXY. You can see UVXY. I mean, just look at the chart. Like it works its way down to zero, and then you get a reverse split, 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 as it just continues to work its way down to zero. Okay, so when the markets actually finally recover, which I think is going to happen within the next, maybe month or so, that the bounce back in the market I think is going to begin. This is going to drift its way all the way down into here, and then eventually it'll do another reverse split. So, these are not things that you want to hold on to, like leverage ETFs. Okay. Just for people that are wondering, is they're not meant, they're meant to, like, let's say if you have a 3 times leverage ETF, right? let's say if you have 3 times leverage on an ETF, that ETF's goal through complex derivative contracts and complex derivative trading is to get a 3 times the move of whatever it is the inverse or whatever it is the leverage of. Okay, so if it's like 3 times short the SPY, then it'll try to get 3 times the, so if the SPY moves, a percent, that's going to try to move at least 3 times that. But each individual day it resets. You have to understand that. That is why it doesn't work when you just hold it forever. That's why it'll work its way down to 0, because it resets each day. Its goal is to triple the move every single day, not an accumulation of days. It's each individual day. So listen, if you want to hold on to it for a couple of weeks, if you think you're going to get a sell-off, fine. But it's not something that you want to hold for many months. I hope that was helpful, Tom. David Hill says, what's your NVIDIA bottom? Oh, man, that's a tough question. NVIDIA has gotten beaten the F up, as it should, because it's semiconductors are very cyclical and they're prone to and susceptible to recessions. Okay, so all your semiconductor stocks have gotten pounded. All right, they've all gotten pounded. Where is the bottom on NVIDIA? I honestly, when I take a look at NVIDIA's chart, I don't really see, David, I don't see like a price, like one level, okay, of where this bottom is. But I will draw out for you a range. Okay, I'm going to draw out for you a range on NVIDIA, and I want you to see, okay, all of this. Do you see all of this consolidation? Do you see all of this consolidation? This entire range, folks, right there is where I believe the low and the bottom for NVIDIA lies. Right there is where I think that it is. Okay. But again, let me make myself very crystal clear. I own NVIDIA. Now, I've owned NVIDIA for years. Okay. I added a ton to it during the COVID crash. Also AMD, right? I added a ton to it during the COVID crash. All right. Now, we sold out. I mean, I didn't catch the top. I sold out of NVIDIA like in here. Okay. It's kind of where I sold my NVIDIA, and then now we're all the way down to here, and I'm going to look to add it back. I didn't sell all of it, but I was very, very public last year when I told everybody in True Trading Group. I also mentioned it on YouTube that I was actually selling my long-term portfolio because I believed that we were going to see a very big correction and sell off and crash this year. So I raised a lot of cash. I had a lot of profit from the positions we added to in March. So I sold a bunch of stuff, and now we're getting ready to put that money back to work. I've already added back to NVIDIA. Okay. I already added back to NVIDIA around 160, I think 162, something like that is where I took a nibble at NVIDIA because I sold it around 220, right? So I nibbled back at it at 160. I'm looking for NVIDIA. If NVIDIA gets underneath 140, I'm going to be buying more. So it's like this little range right there, David. I hope this is helpful. And honestly, to say one specific price is the bottom, I'm not really prepared to put a price on it, but I do think that this range, if you get NVIDIA inside this range, I think that is a fantastic. I love this company for the long term, 3, 5, 7, 10 years from now. Man, I think this is a $500 stock. This is a company that I really, really, really do love. All right. They have a fantastic management team. They've got a fantastic product, fantastic technology, fantastic growth. But semiconductors are going to struggle in a recession. They are cyclical. They are prone to, economic slowdowns. So you got to keep that in mind. But if you're looking for this for a long-term hold, 5 years, 7 years, I'm myself, I look back and I'm going to probably be pretty damn happy that I was adding back to this company at these prices. Broken Motivator, welcome back, man. I know we talked in chat, and I caught a question from you just the other night. Evening, Mike. Evening. How do you know which resistance support level you take profit? Do you go back a month, 3 months back to look at where to take profit? Thank you. Excellent question, Broken Motivator. I actually covered this exact topic in our most recent Trader Palooza workshop. So for those that don't know what Trader Palooza is a 12-hour all-day training workshop where the moderators of True Trading Group, remember there's 8 others besides myself, we host 1-hour-long workshops covering a variety of different topics. And one of the workshops that I did during that Trader Palooza Broken Motivator was very specifically talking about how to identify the right support and resistance levels for where you can take profit. A lot of inexperienced traders and investors identify support and resistance incorrectly, or they might identify what once was resistance or support, but it's no longer relevant, but they still think that it is. And all of a sudden you have someone that draws lines on their screen and it looks like a Picasso painting on their chart because they have, 1,500 lines all on their screen. It's like you look up, an inexperienced trader. This is what their screen will look like. And they're like, oh, these are all my support and resistance levels. No, it's not. Trust me, there are not this many relevant support and resistance levels when you're looking at a stock chart. There's not this many. Okay. There's not that many levels that are significant. So you go as far back left as you have to until you identify relevant levels based on the current price of the stock. All right. Now you can look back to the left and you could have a resistance or support level that's relevant from 1 week ago. And if that's the case, then stop looking when you identify 3 different levels is what I like to look for. I like to look for 3 different resistance levels. If I'm long a stock, where are my next 3 resistance levels? And those 3 resistance levels become my profit targets. Now, if you look back to the left of a chart and you don't see anything, you have to continue looking. So like when you sit here and you take a look at NVIDIA, right? We'll use NVIDIA just as an example. If you're trying to identify where is there support on NVIDIA, well, obviously you're going to have one little level of support, right? Which is going to be the current low of the year. That's going to be one potential level of support. But when you look back to the left after that, do you realize how you see how there's nothing here? There's no structure there for you to find any relevant level. Now we can find relevant resistance levels quite easily. There's a major resistance level. Okay. There's a major resistance level that you're going to have right here at 156, 159, 160. And that, my friends, is going to be this little pivot top and also this gap fill. And you can see even prior to that, this was once a level of support, right? And then previous before that, you had this double top little area of resistance. Okay. So that's one level of resistance right there. And then obviously you'll be able to identify another level. And like, as you go into your chart, as you go into your different chart timeframes, you'll find other levels, right? But you go back as far left as you have to until you find a level. So in this case, if you're looking at support levels, all right, you have to keep going back until what? Now, all of a sudden, look, see how far back I had to go to 2001 until you find relevant structure. And then that is when you're going to say, okay, now where are my support levels? And then the first thing that I'll notice is my next support level after the 141, which is the low of this year. You have a double bottom at 134. As I pan this over and you take a quick look, there, my friends, is your double bottom at 134. And why is that relevant? Well, look back to the left and looky here. It used to be a level of resistance. Look at that, right? So you guys see that? So now you have this level that used to be resistance and then it double bottomed, but I had to go all the way back to 2001 in order to find that level. So to find support levels, I had to go back a year and 2 months. To find resistance levels, I only had to go back 4 days. Once you find those levels, stop. Inexperienced traders they'll just keep going, and they end up with 50 different lines on their screen, and it's all just a mess, and you have no idea where to take profit or where to stop out of your positions. All right, so I hope that was helpful, Broken Motivator. You guys are asking some great questions. You really are. Keep it up, man. I love these Q&As. I feel like it really is beneficial for you guys too. I feel like a lot of you. Usually if one person has a question, there's usually a lot of other people on here that wonder the same thing. So I think this is really helpful. Okay? Keep them firing, guys. I'll take maybe one more. And then we're going to dive in. Mike, XLF is sitting above massive $30 level on monthly chart. I think we see a bounce in financial. Let's talk about this because you're right. And that's a great eye, Alex. It's a fantastic eye, this $30 level. And let's just draw, okay, a line right across here. It's really like 31, but, you know, I'm not going to split hairs here. This is the support level that Alex is referring to. Alex, my problem with this chart setup, okay, my problem with this is we've got a pretty, let me pull up my charts. I'm looking at myself. Sorry. Sorry. Is this. Okay. Now, what you'll notice right away on my chart is two major levels of support and resistance. Okay. Major levels, right? XLF, which is the ETF that tracks the financial sector, all your banks and all your financial companies. You can see very clearly we are in a very defined channel. Okay. You had previous support. All right. And then you had the gap, right? You had the big gap down. Well, we rallied back up to that level and then it became resistance. And now you have a very obvious new level of support here. We are sitting on top of this level. And guess what you're about to get, Alex? Alex, starting tomorrow, my friend, you're about to get a whole wave of financial earnings. Now, the problem with earnings from financials at this stage is that financials do not, okay, do not do well during a recession. When financial companies, you know, batten down the hatches and prepare for consumer slowdowns and loan defaults and that type of stuff, banks do not do well in that environment. So if you think that we're going into a recession, you're not, you know, you're probably not going to get good news out of the banks. Now, what I'm looking for out of the banks, and this has a lot to do, bank earnings have a lot to do with how I'm going to trade the overall markets. And don't forget, later on in this live stream, I'm going to talk to you about CPI, PPI, and exactly what I think that the market's going to do. And one very specific trade that I'm going to look to put on over the next day or two to capitalize on what I think is going to happen here over the next 2 weeks. But when the banks come out with their earnings, if these banks start to warn about a recession and the banks start revising guidance and they start talking about the consumer, because the banks are going to let you know just how strong the consumer's balance sheet really is. How much savings have consumers run through already? Because savings were at all-time highs during the COVID pandemic because nobody could spend their money on anything. Those extra savings and all the stimulus money as well acted as a buffer for the consumer to fight through this inflation. That's not going to last forever. Eventually, the consumer is going to run out of that money that they saved as inflation is going to eat away at it. We're going to learn from the banks, what is the current state of the consumer? So in order for me to make a stand right now, Alex, and say, hey, Mike, do you think we bounce off this level? It's solely dependent on how earnings go. It's solely dependent on how earnings go. You know, if you get JP Morgan tomorrow, comes out and Jamie Dimon's like, yeah, the hurricane's here. In June, he was like, oh, we're staring at a hurricane. A hurricane is on the horizon, right? An economic hurricane is on the horizon, which is what Jamie Dimon said back in June. But he followed it up with, we just don't know, is it going to be, you know, a little tropical storm, or is it going to be like, you know, a superstorm Sandy? If he comes out with JP Morgan's earnings and during the conference call warns of something like that, then that $31 level probably breaks, Alex. I think it probably breaks. You know, I don't think that level is going to hold because I believe the market has not bottomed yet. I think we're really damn close. We're really damn close, in my opinion. We're really damn close. But I can't sit here and say, well, I think the overall market's going to go lower over the next 2 weeks, but I think financials are going to bounce. Totally contradicting statements. So I think that you're going to get Q2 earnings from all of these companies, they're going to revise their earnings down. They're going to warn against a recession, and earnings estimates come down for the remainder of the year. Therefore, stock prices come down. That's what I'm looking for. Okay? That's what I'm looking for. I got one more little question here that Hillbilly Rose just asked. I'll address this real quick, and then we're going to move on, okay? If someone joins TTG tonight and they get alerts tomorrow, what does novice, intermediate, advanced next to the trader's name mean? Is it complexity of trade? Let me explain this very quickly for people that are not familiar with True Trading Group, because if you do end up joining, and there's a couple people that I saw that were asking about how they can join. I'll tell you guys how you can join in just a moment, but let me address this real quick because this is actually very important. So every single time one of the moderators or myself alert a trade inside of True Trading Group, we send out real-time alerts when our orders actually fill, when our orders execute. But different trades carry different levels of volatility. Okay. Now, trading something like Tesla or the SPY, the day that the SPY is ripping around 10 points at a time, or trading like a small cap that's going to halt 5 or 6 times because it's moving so quickly, those carry significantly higher risk than if someone traded, let's say, AMC or Ford or NIO or something like that, right? The risk and the volatility, rather, is not the same. Some stocks are a lot more volatile than others. And the more volatile the stock, the higher risk involved in the trade. So what we do at True Trading Group is that so everybody is aware of the risk and volatility when they enter a trade, so it can help you decide which trade do you want to follow. We will alert novice, intermediate, advanced. Now, it is my opinion and my advice to people that join True Trading Group. If you are a brand new trader and you're just kind of feeling your way through and you just started going through the courses, you don't really have any experience, stay away from the advanced level trades, because those trades are going to move very quickly. They're going to make very big moves, and those moves and those wild swings will probably be too much for your emotions to handle. And when you can't control your emotions when you're in a trade, that is when you make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, that is when you lose money. So that's why we do that in True Trading Group, so that you know, okay, I'm a total newbie. I'm going to wait for all the novice alerts. Okay, you know what? I've been doing this for a year or two. I'm going to take all the intermediate alerts and the novice alerts. Okay, hey, you know what? I know what I'm doing. I'm okay with the volatility. I'll take the advanced, the intermediate, and the novice. It has nothing to do with experience level. It's all about volatility and risk of that individual trade, because that can also help you decide how much money do you want to put into that trade now that you know how much risk is involved. Remember, every single trade carries a different level of volatility. Therefore, every single trade carries a different level of risk. And it's very, very important that you guys understand that. And that's why we do that. Okay? So Hillbilly Rose, I hope that answers your question. Anybody else that maybe is wondering that, I hope that helps answer your questions there as well. Guys, listen up. In about 5 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about main topics for the live stream tonight, right? What are we going to be discussing? The CPI number today, 9.1%, the highest we've gotten in 40 years. Okay. Highest we've gotten in 40 years. PPI number comes out tomorrow. What do we expect? What's the CPI number mean for the potential of a recession? What does it mean now for the Federal Reserve? What are they going to do now on July 27th when they have their Fed meeting? All right. And then you have earnings coming out. And I'm going to give you one specific trade that I'm looking to put on within the next day or two to capitalize on exactly what I think the market's going to do. And I'm going to break that all down for you guys here in just about 5 minutes. First, let me actually explain to you guys, for everyone because I saw like at least 3 people that I saw in the chat room that were asking about our program, and we're asking about, how you guys, would be able to join the TC family if you guys wanted to. So we do have an offer and some incentives for people that want to join the TC family before all of this craziness unfolds. You're about to get, in my opinion, one of the most volatile 2 weeks that we've had so far this year. The most volatile weeks that we've had in the market so far this year was in the beginning of June, when you got your CPI number in the beginning of June and people realized inflation didn't peak. Now you're about to get another wild and crazy volatile couple weeks as earnings start to unfold. All right. So I think you're about to get a crazy volatility, and I think the markets are about to bottom within the next, honestly, like within the next like 3 to 4 weeks. I think this bottom is so damn close, guys. I really do. And I'm going to be adding my long-term portfolio here towards the end of this month. So if you guys want to know what it is that I'm adding, only the teaching members will get that stuff. But let me tell you guys how you can join. And then literally 5 minutes, I'll tell you how you can join. And then we're going to get into CPI, PPI, and what I think the market's going to do for the rest of these next 2 weeks and how I'm going to make money from it. Okay. But the first thing you have to understand when you join TTG is you're not just joining True Trading Group because I'm some masterful trader that you're lucky to be blessed with all of my trade alerts because I have a 150% win rate. That's not why you should join True Trading Group. We're a platform. Okay. When you join True Trading Group, this is where you're going to be getting value for your money. Okay, access to all of the different tools and resources and education that you need in order to increase your chances of success. Because the education that you get at True Trading Group is a simplified version of what I learned when I worked at the hedge fund in New York. The first 3 months of my employment were in a classroom setting. So you're going to get a similar level of education to what I received. It's in-depth and complex, yet it is easy to understand and implement quickly. Whether you've never traded a stock a day in your life or you've been doing this for 10 years, our platform can help you guys reach your goals. People ask all the time, like, what makes True Trading Group different from other courses? And it's the fact that we're not just courses. We're a platform. Yes, there's courses on our platform, but we have spent years developing relationships with the top fintech companies in the world so that we can offer you their products and tools at no additional cost. Even if you do not join True Trading Group, you're going to need a news feed. You're going to need charting software. You're going to need dark pool data, analyst ratings, insider buying, short interest, unusual options activity, a social sentiment scanner, a regular scanner. You're going to need all of these things, even if you don't join True Trading Group. There's a reason why these professionals use all of these tools, because it increases their chances of success by giving them access to more information. The more information you have, the better decision you can make. So we package all of this together for you so that you don't have to spend hours upon hours searching for all this information. It's in one quick, easy spot right there on your TC membership dashboard. Like, you're going to get Ben Zinga's real-time newsfeed. You're going to get TradingView's premium charts. You get full book level 2 from Quote Media. We get directly from the CBOE, unusual options activity. You get dark pool data. We have the trade idea scanner, a simulator that lets you trade stocks and options, right? Analyst ratings, all that stuff. It's all included when you join TTG. You don't pay extra for it. There's no upsells for that stuff. That's the value of what you guys are getting for your money when you join the TTG platform. All right. And on top of that, all of our courses, there's no upsells for courses. You get all of them. A video library that's got over 300 hours of workshops and webinars that we've conducted. And then, of course, all of our transparent alerts. The mods and I share our screen with you during the day. We're live on the microphone talking to you throughout the day from 7:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Eastern. We're on the mic talking to you. And whenever our trades execute, you get real-time push notifications that let you know that our trades have executed. We day trade, we swing trade, we do long-term investing, we trade futures, crypto. We do all of it inside of True Trading Group. There's something for everybody. We trade stocks, we trade options. It's all there for you guys. Okay. And on top of that, you're joining a community of about 9,600 members from all over the world that genuinely give a damn whether you succeed or fail, that are led by our team of full-time mods that have over 100 years of combined experience, that sport a cumulative win rate of just around 80%. We're fully transparent. You guys can go check it out. We have a trading history journal on our website that literally tracks every single execution and transaction that our moderators make. Every entry, every exit, you can see for yourself. All the wins, all the losses, it's all right there for you guys to see. Results matter at your trading group. And when I'm talking results, I'm not talking about myself or somebody else on social media. Your results actually matter. Whether you make money or not matters when you join your trading group. And the fact of the matter is that the majority of TC members are making money. They're becoming better traders, guys. And I'll prove that to you in just a second. Now I'm going to ask a question from members. If you are a member of True Trading Group, if you are a member, I want you guys to do real quick, very simple question. Are you making money? Are you becoming a better trader? If that answer is yes, I just want you to type a $sign in chat right now. Just type the $sign. And honestly, guys, if you guys are not members of True Trading Group, just pay attention to how many people type the $sign. That's really all you have to do right now. Just pay attention to how many people type the $sign. These are your peers. These are people that found True Trading Group the exact same way that you did, that was on one of these live streams, or a friend or family member, coworker told them about us. We don't spend millions of dollars on marketing all over the place. This is how people find True Trading Group. They had the exact same excuses that you had. A full-time job, no experience, lost money in the market before, have no idea what they're doing, starting with a small account, but yet now they're typing the $sign, telling you they're actually becoming better traders and they're having success. I love these people to death, and I would literally do anything to help them reach their goals and anything for them to help them throughout their journey. But there's nothing special about them. If they can do it, so can you. So here's the deal, folks. All right. Here's the deal. Now, we've been doing this. We haven't been able to get our hands on more laptops from our wholesalers. We have relationships with like 3 or 4 different wholesalers around the world for like different electronics. And when we can get them, we get a bunch, we buy it in bulk, we get great pricing because we get it direct from the wholesaler and we buy them in bulk. So we get great pricing, and we usually will include that in the offer for people that want to join True Trading Group as like a free laptop or something when you guys join. But we haven't been able to get our hands on any more. But last night I offered a bunch out, and I said that Adam's my partner and co-founder of True Trading Group. I said that we would just buy some retail. Over the last couple days, nearly like 50 people have joined the TTG family and have been just raving about, oh my God, I can't believe you guys give me a free laptop. So honestly, guys, like, I don't mind doing it. I mean, I'm not going to keep doing it forever, but we'll buy a couple more laptops for people that want to join the TTG family. If that's what it takes, and people love the free laptop to get you guys in here to get educated, take advantage of the opportunity that is in front of you guys right now, then so be it. I don't mind doing it, but we're not going to do it forever. I have not been able to get more from our wholesaler, but I don't have a problem extending it for, I'll buy another 10 at a retail price for the next 10 people that join True Trading Group here this evening. So you guys can actually go to ttgoffer.com, use the coupon code TTG121. We'll buy 10 more laptops at retail, but I'm not going to keep doing this because it's a lot more expensive when we buy them at retail. It's a lot more expensive. But people are loving it. Like I said, in the last couple of days, we've had like 50 new people join the TTG family and just, rave about these laptops. So, I get it. People love free stuff. So the next 10 people that go to ttgoffer.com, here's the deal. Enter the coupon code TTG121. Click apply code. You will get a 50% discount. Okay? You can get a 50% discount. It brings the price of our membership from $22.12 all the way down to just $1,100. You're going to get 2 small private study group sessions with our pro traders so that you can ask questions and speed up your learning curve. You're going to get the brand new free laptop if you're one of the next 10 people. All right. As long as you see a laptop in your checkout cart, that's how you know that you're getting one. All right. So if you don't see one, that means that we've ran out of the 10. All right. But I'll commit to buying 10 more for the next 10 people that join because it seems that everyone's loving these laptops. So I don't mind doing it. Okay. But last but not least, when you guys join True Trading Group, you're also getting our double your money back guarantee. I told you results matter, and the money back guarantee is based solely on your P&L. If you join True Trading Group, it's very simple. Here's how our double your money back guarantee works. You have 12 months to go through our courses, our quizzes, and attend one study group. If you do those 3 things and still fail to make the $1,100 membership fee back at least one time during your membership, then at the end of your membership, I will give you back $2,200. That is double what you are spending to join the TTG platform. That is how confident I am in our ability to help you become successful. Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to become successful, Okay, but I can guarantee that if you don't make the 1,100 back, I'll give you 2,200, and that's the deal. And I can do that because since 2016, we've only had to refund 2.5% of our members. That's it. 2.5% of our members we've refunded since 2016, and 78% of our members renew their membership or upgrade to become lifetime members of True Trading Group when their year is up. 78% retention rate. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure that 78% of our members are not renewing their membership because all they're doing is losing. They're not learning anything, and they're just becoming really shitty traders. Sorry for cursing if anyone's got their kids around. I try not to. That one slipped out. I apologize. Okay. That's why I can offer you the double your money back guarantee. No problem. Okay. You just have to be one of the first 10 people to go to ttgoffer.com, enter the code TTG121, and you guys will get the 50% discount, the free laptop, the 2 study groups, the double your money back guarantee, and last but not least, access to my Head Start workshop. At the end of this month, I'm going to host a Head Start workshop for new members. That is to make sure that you guys start off on the right foot with understanding your trader identity, which is what trading style is going to work best for you. Now, that's going to be based on 2 main things: your personality traits and your work schedule. How much time are you able to sit in front of a computer? Those are the topics, okay? Those are the topics that will determine what strategy works best for you. Everybody welcome Michael. Michael's the newest member of the family. Everybody welcome Michael. Welcome to the TTG family, Michael. Guys, I told you people love these laptops. Look, see, I'm not even done talking, and Michael already just grabbed one. So guys, just seriously, just run, okay? Just run. Just go to ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. I'm going to address a comment in chat real quick from someone, and I'm not even going to answer it. I'll let other people answer it. So my TTG members, we have a comment in chat that we are going to address from Suck My NASDAQ, who, I give away all this free information, but you still have assholes that come on these live streams and don't appreciate free analysis and free lessons and free education. But their comment is, show your portfolio returns, stop with the nonsense BS. So I guess by me pulling up a photoshopped version of a brokerage statement or a fake, paper account, that's going to somehow make you feel better about you being able to make money on the TTG platform. So I'll actually just ask members of True Trading Group, very simple question, yes or no. Are we making money in True Trading Group? That answer is yes or no. You guys can comment in chat, and I would suggest Suck My NASDAQ. Don't even take it from me because it doesn't mean much coming from me. I can tell you I made $1 bajillion. Would that make you feel better? Because guess what? The $1 bajillion that I made, not one of the bajillion is going to pay your bills, brother. That's the truth. So that's why at True Trading Group, the only thing that matters is your P&L. Who gives a shit what I make? I'm not paying your bills. That's why our money back guarantee is based on your P&L. Now, I don't come on YouTube and flaunt my P&L, okay, in front of the world to try to convince you to sign up, because the reality is I trade with a very large account, and you're not going to be able to replicate the same results that I have because I trade with a very large account. And I've also been doing this for 15 years. So I'm not going to come on here and say, hey, guys, I made $30,000 today. Join True Trading Group and you can do the exact same thing, because that's extremely misleading. Instead, join True Trading Group because the education and the knowledge that I provide for you on these live streams makes sense. And that the knowledge and the education, the analysis that I provide for you on these live streams is actually making you realize, oh my goodness, listening to people on Reddit is not the way to go. Maybe I should actually get an education from someone that worked at a hedge fund on Wall Street professionally and also received the Trader of the Year award. That's why you join True Trading Group. Not because someone goes on Twitter and posts a screenshot of a photoshopped brokerage statement. If that's all it takes for you to join a platform, you're going to have a real tough go at this. All you guys have to do right now is go to ttgoffer.com, enter the coupon code TTG121. Guys, I don't blow smoke up your ass. There's enough of that out there on YouTube. I give you guys full transparency, and I give you guys just full straight up. I talk to you about my wins. I talk to you guys about my losses. All right. We also have another member that we just saw that just joined. Jack, my man. Jack, welcome to the TTG family, Jack. We've got 8 laptops now. Everybody welcome Jack. Jack, welcome to the TTG family, man. I cannot wait to trade with you. Welcome to the TTG fam. Welcome. Guys, there's now just 8 laptops left. Am I seeing that right? Tim PK says I made 630% today. That's absolutely insane. How the hell did you do that? That's incredible. Show me how. Teach me. Oh man, that's incredible. Luke Cal says, Mike, I joined one of those groups that used to post their P&L. I lost 75% of my portfolio. Now I'm making it all back with True Trading Group. Boom, there you go. I like that. I like the sound of that. All right, so Jack, welcome to the TTG family. All right, we got a question also that I just want to address real quick, guys. And then we're going to get into CPI. I don't want to take up too much more time. We have so much information that I want to cover with you guys. But we have oh man, I just lost it. Where was it? Here we go. Lynn Sun says, hi, how much money do I need to trade? Lynn Sun, this is a very common misconception from a lot of people have. You know, it's a very common misconception that you need tens of thousands of dollars in order to get started trading. It is not true. You know, we have members that join True Trading Group and have just a couple $100 in their account. And I'll prove it to you guys. If you don't mind, members of True Trading Group, I'm talking to you guys right now. Members of True Trading Group, if you are a member and you started with less than $1,000 when you guys joined, just comment in chat right now. Tell me what you started with, because this can help Lynn Sun. Lynn Sun, I want you to realize, and anybody else that might have that same question. Okay. Yo, Jack Doherty. There you are. Jack Doherty. I told you, man. Yes, Jack Doherty, man. Welcome to the family. I'm glad to have you part of the family, Jack. I really am. So like I said, my TG fan, if you guys started with less than $1,000, you guys can comment in chat and just kind of tell me what you started with when you guys joined, if it was less than $1,000. Because, you know, we've had a lot of members that have joined with just a couple $100, like, you know, 3-digit accounts, $100, $200, $300, and they've now taken that to up where they're now, you know, sitting on 5-figure accounts. Okay. So, you know, I think that it's important for people to realize that you don't need tens of thousands of dollars in order for you guys to look at that. Chris Bottas with $500 he started with. He's now at 5,900. Okay, there. This ES started with just $600. Like, it's important here. Five from 5,000 to 30,000. 15K up to 96K from Jake Capital. You know, 15K is a lot more than just $1,000. But the point is that you only, you know, here, I started with $250. This is Gabe Herrera. Gabe, I'm really happy to hear about your success, man. I know you've been busting your ass, Gabe. I see you in chat, bro. I respect it, man. I respect the work, and it's paying off. Gabe is a new member. Started with $250. He's now at 1,000. You know, so you don't need like tens of thousands of dollars in order to get started, guys. You don't. It's a very common misconception. All right, very common misconception. So hope that kind of helps. Okay, so like I said, Michael, Jack, welcome. Guys, there's 8 laptops left now. If you see a laptop in your checkout cart, okay, if you see a laptop in your checkout cart, that is how you know that you're getting one of the 8 laptops. There's 8 of them left. TTGoffer.com. If you have questions, if anybody has questions about the membership, if Suck My NASDAQ has questions about our membership, crisp era from $350 to $30,000. That's insane. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Okay. If you have questions about the membership, okay, you can send a text message right now to 786-505-4221. The phone number is right at the bottom of your screen, 786-505-4221. If you have any questions about the membership, okay? But the next 8 people will get the 50% off, the free laptop, the 2 study groups, the double your money back. Chances are you're not going to need the double your money back guarantee, but it's there to protect you and hold ourselves accountable. Right. And then you guys can attend my free Head Start workshop also at the end of the month. Okay. Get it? Got it? Good. Let's now move on. Let's talk about CPI data. We have to, right? It's the biggest thing that happened today. Allow me to take a sip of water and then we're going to continue. Okay. CPI came in way above expectations today. And I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to make a statement. Some people may disagree with me, but I don't care. I always give you guys, I put my neck out there. I give you guys exactly what I think is going to happen. I'm fully transparent. When I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong. The CPI number you got today is going to be the highest you're going to see. You know, and I talked about this on last night's live stream. Last night's live stream, I told you guys that, you know, if you asked me like 3 weeks, no, more than that, you asked me a month ago, you asked me like 5 weeks ago, I would have told you that, or I did say on live streams, I said, I thought maybe there was a chance that June CPI number actually comes in light because you saw commodity prices got absolutely crushed in June. Absolutely crushed in June. But the problem is the way that the economy works, it takes time, okay? It takes time for price decreases in commodity prices to filter their way through the economy to producers and manufacturers so that the cost of their raw materials goes down. And then it takes even more time for those cost decreases to work their way from the producer and the manufacturer down to the consumer in the price of the actual goods and services that the consumer buys. That takes time. So just because the price of oil goes down today doesn't mean the price of gas goes down tomorrow. Just because the price of wheat goes down today doesn't mean the price of bread goes down tomorrow, okay? And vice versa. So I said to you guys last night when we did our live stream, when we said, what do we expect from this CPI number? And I told you that I was like, I don't think we're going to get a light number anymore because the research that I've done over the last week, the prices to the consumer really didn't start coming down for the last 2 weeks. Well, that's a problem because today's July 13th. Prices really started coming down like June 30th, which is not enough time for that to be felt and factored into the June CPI number. But what did happen in June was you had gasoline go to a record high. You've had rent is the major problem when it comes to inflation. Rent is the stickler. Okay, rent is going up at 1% a month, 12% a year. Rent is the problem. All right. But in June, oil, natural gas, wheat, corn, aluminum, nickel, copper, all got crushed. All got crushed. Okay. Just go by your local gas station right now. Gas is probably down 40 cents a gallon from where it was when you go back to the middle of June, when gas was at record highs. So the prices of these things are starting to come down a little bit. All right. And you're starting to see this work its way down to the consumer, which is why July's CPI number, I am very confident it's going to be significantly below the 9.1 number that you got today. Like, I don't think July's number is going to be 8.9. I think it's going to be significantly lower than the number that you got today, because now the decrease in all these commodity prices is going to work its way all the way down to the consumer for the month of July. Then in August, when you get your July CPI number, in my opinion, I think it's going to come in very light. And it's going to come in light. Now, listen, it's still going to be high. I'm not saying, you know, it's going back to 2%, right? It's still going to be high, but it sure as hell ain't going to be 9. You know, you can see like an 8.2 number in July compared to just the 9.1 that you got here. That's important. It's important for the markets to realize when inflation has peaked. It's important for the markets to realize that. Right now, the markets can't see past it. You started seeing it today. Today, when the CPI number came out, it was sticker shock. And I used that exact term last night on the live stream. I said, we might get sticker shock. You know, we might get sticker shock. Yes, Gio, I do. I know. I told you. I know some people aren't going to agree with me. You know, like, so you think today's year-over-year CPI is the highest print? I do. I think 9.1 is going to be the highest because you're finally going to get commodity prices are going to come down as they already have. Commodity prices have already come down. They came down in June, but it just takes time for that to filter your way through down through the economy, down when you get to down to the consumer. Now, it's still going to be very high. Don't get me wrong. Inflation will the CPI number will still be high, but I do not believe it's going to be higher than the number you just saw. I'm going out on a limb here and I'm saying I believe the number that you saw today, the year over year 9.1, is going to be the highest number that you guys are going to see this year. Because now you're getting, it's really just rent is the area that you have to worry about. Now, rent is like a third of CPI. That's a huge component of CPI. But gasoline prices coming down, right? Like wheat, lumber, steel, copper, all these commodities coming down in price will ease pressures on inflation. It should ease pressures on inflation. I still think inflation is going to be high. I just don't think it's going to be as high as it was today. So I think it's actually, I think that it's the highest numbers today. So I think the markets felt that. I'm not the only person that thinks this. I'm not like, a lot of people, were realizing, well, okay, you got the initial sticker shock today. The markets crashed as soon as the number came out. Okay, we went from like 382, we dropped to 373 in minutes when that number came out. It was pure sticker shock. And the markets just absolutely tanked. But then as soon as the markets opened, what started to happen? The markets actually went up. As soon as the market opened, the markets actually went up. And a lot of people couldn't figure out how could that be? The highest inflation number that we've gotten in 40 years, how could the market go up? Simple. People looked at that and they said, that's the worst CPI number we're going to get. And people started buying that. Now you're going to get a PPI number tomorrow. The PPI number tomorrow, I think, is not going to be as bad as the CPI number, because remember how the economy works. When the price of commodities goes down, it takes time for that price decrease to work its way down to the producers and manufacturers, their raw material costs on what it costs them to make the things we buy. Like if you're going to go buy this water jug, how much does it cost for the aluminum, like the aluminum bottle, the plastic top? Like how much does that cost the producer to actually make that product? When commodity prices come down, that works its way through to the producer manufacturer. But then it takes more time to work its way through to the consumer. The consumer, the end price a consumer pays, is the very last piece of that equation. It takes the longest. So it's possible that with the drop in commodity prices, it did not reach the consumer until the last 2 weeks, but it's possible it reached the manufacturer within the last maybe 3 to 4 weeks. So you may have had an extra week to maybe 2 weeks of lighter costs for producers and manufacturers, which is why the PPI number tomorrow, I don't think is going to be as bad as the CPI number that you got today. It's still not going to be a good number. It's still going to be a bad number. Guys, don't mistake what I'm saying as, oh, and inflation is coming down. That's not what I'm saying. But I do believe that as we sit here in real time, the number that you got today is backward looking. The CPI number you got it's July 13th. The number you got today is from June. It's backward looking. As we sit here today on July 13th, I am confident that the rate of inflation, and that's what inflation is, don't mistake an inflation for price. Inflation is a rate of change. So if inflation goes from being up 9.1%, okay, and then it drops to 8.1%, that still means prices went up 8.1% from last year to this year. It doesn't mean that necessarily that prices went down. It means that the rate of change has gone down. Don't forget that. But I'm confident that on July 13th, as we sit here today, that inflation in real time, not backward looking, in real time, inflation today is lower than it was 4 weeks ago. Just go to the gas station. Compare your gas receipts. So that's why I think CPI, the worst number, we just got it today. I think next month's number is going to be lower than the number you got today. Still high, but lower, which would show that inflation has peaked. Then you're going to get a PPI number tomorrow that I believe is going to be not as bad as the CPI number you got today. But that's not the problem. People might get a little excited tomorrow if the PPI number is not that bad. And you may get a little bit of buying that comes into the market on the back of the PPI number. But then you have earnings. And the earnings is really going to be the determining factor. Some people might buy the fact that inflation probably peaked in June. Some people are probably going to buy that. And some people did buy that. And that's why the markets went up this morning. But just because inflation peaked doesn't mean inflation is coming down. Inflation is going to stay high. It's going to stay elevated for a long time. It's not like, oh, inflation peaked, we're back to 2% and everything's right in the world. You're still going to have elevated inflation. As long as inflation stays elevated, the Federal Reserve is going to keep their foot on the gas. The Federal Reserve has made it very clear that they're not going to pivot, okay? They're not going to pivot until they see multiple months of declining inflation. Multiple months. That's when the Fed said they're going to pivot. That's when they said, we'll let our foot off the gas after inflation comes down for a couple of months. So the Fed is still going to be there and the Fed's still going to be aggressive. And when you get earnings, the whole, oh, inflation peaked, that excitement is going to go away very quickly as companies come out with earnings over the next 2 weeks, and they are terrible. The earnings themselves may not be terrible, but the earnings themselves, between you and I, don't matter. It's the guidance that matters. It's the guidance. What are these companies expecting for the next 6 months? That is what matters. How many of these companies are seeing the consumer slowing down? How many think we're going into a recession? How many think we're already in a recession? How many are lowering their guidance? When you get, and I think it's going to be all of them. I think every single company is going to come out and they're going to lower their guidance. Once they do that, analysts are going to lower earnings estimates. That brings stock prices down. And once everybody lowers their earnings estimates, the excitement that inflation has peaked is going to wear off. And it's going to wear off because people are going to say, well, yeah, inflation peaked, but it's still high. It's still a problem. The Fed still has to fight it. Just because it peaked doesn't mean the Fed stops fighting it. The Fed is still going to raise interest rates. They're actually pricing in the possibility now of a 100 basis point hike in June, which I don't know if we're going to get a 100 basis point hike yet in July. On July 27th, there's a Fed meeting. I still think you get 75 basis points in July 27th. I still think you get 75 basis points. I don't think they give you 100. I think they give you 75. But the chances of a 100 basis point hike in the July 27th meeting has actually now drastically gone up after the CPI number today. Drastically. But I don't think you get 100. I still think you get 75 because the Fed sees the economy slowing down. And I think the Fed also sees commodity prices cooling off. They see the real estate market cooling off. This was home applications like mortgages and like home sales. Those deals are being canceled at the highest rate that we have seen since 2000. So the housing market has already cooled off. Rent is the problem, but housing has already cooled off. Car sales have already cooled off. Gasoline has already cooled off. Wheat has cooled off. Steel, aluminum, copper has cooled off. So the Fed sees that. They see all of that data. All right. So I think the Fed is going to say, okay, inflation's peaked. We still got to keep our foot on the gas, but the economy is slowing. Maybe we shouldn't do 100. We're probably going to do 75. I think they do 75. Okay. But the market is going to realize that, okay, all these companies are talking about a recession. The Fed still has their foot on the gas. We're going to get the recession. And if you get the recession, the market is not priced in for a recession. Earnings estimates are still too high. 380 on the SPY is not priced in for a recession. You're talking a 20% decline. No, you need more than that. I think you're looking at the markets being down anywhere from 27 to 30%, and that prices in a mild recession. And as long as inflation comes down for 3 consecutive months, which it very possibly could, with the economy slowing and commodity prices coming off, then the Fed eases off the gas in September, and the markets realize that they've bottomed, and then you get room for the markets to breathe as the Fed kind of gives you a little bit of a pivot, and the reality of a recession comes into play, and then the markets can kind of stabilize. Once the reality of the recession is in, and it's no longer a matter of if, because you still have people that don't think we're getting one. I think we're probably in one already. I've been saying for all year that I think we get a recession here, but I've also been saying all year I think it's a mild one. I don't think it's a deep, long-lasting, brutal recession like you had, in 2000 or like you had in 08. I think that it's something that, and honestly, even then, like even those recessions, which were some of the worst recessions that we ever had. Did you guys know that the early 2000s, do you guys know that that recession was like 8 months long? The Great Recession from 07 to 09 was 1 year and 6 months. And that was the worst recession that we've ever seen. The recession of the early 1980s, when inflation was totally out of control, was 1 year and 4 months. You know, like, it's really not that crazy. You know, so it's like, I would love the fact to see that we're already in a recession. I would love to see that we're already in one. Would love it. The faster that you're in it, the faster you can come out of it. You know, and I think we're going to get it. I do. So let me tell you my game plan. Okay. This is my plan. All right. It's exactly what I'm going to do with the overall market. Let me show you. Here's my trade plan. Tomorrow, you're going to get the start of earnings. Okay. Tomorrow, you're going to get the start of earnings. The level that you have to keep your eyes on is 373. This level, in my opinion, is everything. Draw this line on your screen. Keep it there. The SPY gets underneath that level. I think the trapdoor opens, the rug pull happens, and the markets really drop. Now, I believe we're going to break this level. What I'm looking for tomorrow, okay, what I'm looking for tomorrow, okay, is you might get a little bit of buying at 8:30 a.m. when the PPI number comes out. But then I think that excitement will fade once you get all of your earnings. Once you get your earnings, that's going to fade. We got to welcome Mike. Mike, newest member. Mike, welcome, buddy. Guys, there's now 7 laptops left. That's it. 7. All right. This is a different Mike. The last one was Mike H. The last one was Michael, actually. He signed up as Michael. This person signed up as Mike. All right. So welcome. There are now 7 laptops left. Yes, Star Lord. That number is 373 that I drew on my screen, folks. For those that can't read it, this number is 373. Everybody welcome Mike. So 7 laptops left, guys. Like I said, I don't mind buying 10 of them. So we had 10 when we started. Now we're at 7. You guys can go to ttgoffer.com, enter the coupon code TTG121. That'll get you the 50% discount. It'll get you the free laptop, 2 private study group sessions with one of our pro traders, and it will also get you my double your money back guarantee. Again, guys, very simple. You've got 12 months. Go through the courses, quizzes, attend 1 study group. If you don't make the $1,100 back, at least once, I'll give you $2,200. That's the deal. All right. And again, if you have questions about the membership, and I mean anything, guys, any questions, whatever, don't be shy. Send a text to 786-505-4221. 786-505-4221. Okay. So back to the charts. So what I'm looking for, okay, one level specifically for my entry, and that's going to be 378, 379. Okay. See this level today? See how it was previously? It was the highs. Then we held it, right? You see that? See this little level here? Just a minor little level intraday. Well, now after hours, we've broken beneath it, and now we're drifting all the way down. Don't disregard this tail. That tail's not real. You see how we dropped ourselves down here to now 376. You see how we're underneath this level? What I think could happen is when you wake up tomorrow morning, we could be down at like 374, 375 with a nice gap down tomorrow. The PPI number could come out at 830. It's not as bad as the CPI number. Give some people some excitement to think, oh yeah, inflation peaked, inflation peaked. Then the markets bounce and the markets could take you back to 378. And if we gap down tomorrow to 375-ish, 374, and then the PPI number comes out and we pop to 378, I'm going to short that. I'm going to buy put options in front of 378. Okay. 378, 379. Okay. I'll try to short that. All right. Depending on where we open. Now, if we open tomorrow above 378, listen to me carefully. If we open above 378, then I'm going to be shorting this market at 382 to 382.50. Now, where do I get the 382 to 382.50 level from? Okay. Glad you asked. Let's talk about it. Okay. Here is where the next level for me comes into play. This is if we gap up tomorrow. I'm giving you the entire game plan. Okay. You'll notice you had this previous little level of support. Then it became resistance here at 382, right? So if we gap, so 378 is going to be my barometer. If we gap under it, I'm going to try to get short in front of 378. We gap above it, I'm going to try to get short around 382, 382.50. Because I believe that whatever bounce you may get tomorrow from a PPI number that's not as bad as CPI, that excitement is going to fade as soon as you get JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, Citigroup, Capital One. Once all those companies come out and they're like, yeah, we're revising our guidance lower. We think that we're heading into a recession. The consumer's balance sheet is weakening. Once you get that, that's when the market finally prices in the recession. And that's when the markets will drop down to 373. And when you see the SPY back down around 373, that level breaks. Then you flush it down into the 360s. And that, my friends, is going to be a multiple triple-digit gain if I'm right. If I'm right about that, you're looking at a 250% gain minimum on put options. I would most likely be going after the July 22nd expiration put, maybe the July 27th expiration put. And it would probably be, depends on where I enter the trade. If I enter the trade under 378, I'm probably looking at the 376 strike put. If I enter the trade up around 382, I'm probably looking at a 379 or 378 strike put. Giving myself about a week and a half on the expiration. That's what I'm looking at, guys. That's exactly how I'm going to play this. That's exactly what my game plan is for tomorrow. I'm giving you the whole layout. All right. Now, my TGG fam, if something changes, I'm obviously going to let all of you guys know because I trade live with our members during the day. I'm on the mic. You guys see my screen. Okay. So you guys will be able to do that live tomorrow in the trade, inside the chat room. You guys aren't going to want to miss being in chat with us tomorrow when the PPI number comes out, and you're not going to want to miss when earnings come out. You're not going to want to try to go through this alone. We had a great day in chat today. 2 for 2, nailed VERU. Well, made a little bit of money on VERU. VERU wasn't a home run, but still a nice little piece of profit on VERU, and made a real nice chunk of change on Snowflake today. We actually caught the long in the market today. So after the gap down on the CPI number, we actually caught the long. Okay, so we kind of sniffed out the fact that people were buying the fact that that's the worst CPI number that we're going to get, and we actually caught that long today. We made money long today. I just used Snowflake. Snowflake was the stock that I went after for that, and we caught this move. We caught this move on Snowflake in the morning. Okay, so that's kind of my thought process here, guys. For tomorrow and how I plan on trading this and how I plan on making money through it. But I'll say it again one last time. Make sure that you guys have this 373 level drawn on your screen, because you're going to have so much is going to happen tomorrow morning, because you're going to get tomorrow morning. It's the PPI number. And then at the same time, because that's 8:30, and I'm not sure the exact time, but I know you're going to get JP Morgan is going to be before the market opens. What else is tomorrow? Morgan Stanley. I'm not sure if Morgan Stanley. I know Goldman Sachs, I think, is also in the morning. I think Morgan Stanley is. I think they're all in the morning tomorrow. I'm just. Oh, I wait. Hold on. Oh, okay. So, okay, awesome. You guys are great. Awesome. Thank you, guys. The Last Unicorn. Thank you. Stan Stinson. Thank you, guys. They're all saying, yep. Morgan Stanley is at 8:30. Goldman Sachs is at 8:30. Just reading some of these. Okay, thank you, guys. Yeah, I wasn't sure the exact time. So 8:30, it seems like, from all those banks. So you're literally going to get, PPI and Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, all their earnings, all coming out at 8:30. All hell is breaking loose at 8:30. Okay. So the only way that I change my game plan is if JP Morgan specifically says, okay, like it's not so much Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley. It's Citigroup, Bank of America, JP Morgan, the consumer banks. Okay, well, JP Morgan, they have, Chase Bank. They also have, obviously, their investment banking and everything else. But your consumer-driven banks, Citi, Bank of America, and JP Morgan. I want to hear what they have to say about the state of the consumer, the balance sheet of the consumers. Way to go, Fabian. Yes, Fabian goes, thanks to you, Mike, I made $13,000 swing trading Snowflake within 10 days. Entry 138, exited 157. Thanks, Mike and TTG. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Fabian. Great job, man. Really great job. Thank you. Jersey Devil Seafood says that was an awesome trade on Snowflake today. Thank you very, very much. Very, very much. All right. So I want to hear from all the banks, right? I want to hear from all the banks. Yeah, I saw that. Goldman Sachs is calling for like a $140 peak for oil. Someone said, do I agree with that? I actually don't agree with that. It's funny because Citigroup actually said like oil back to like 50. It's funny. Citigroup says 50. Goldman Sachs says 140. So guys, anybody want to do 85? Like just split it right in the middle, like 90? Like anybody want to cut that? No. Those are two massive extremes. But yeah, I want to pay attention. Like I care more about JP Morgan than I do Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs. I care more about Bank of America than I do, those like Wells Fargo, the consumer banks. Those are the ones that we want to really pay attention to. And JP Morgan's the big one. JP Morgan's the big one tomorrow. Morgan Stanley. Oh, guys, we got a couple of trial members. We got to welcome Gerardo, Darren, and Jose. Gerardo, Darren, and Jose, welcome to the TTG trial. So we do have a trial membership, guys. We do have a trial membership, okay? It's totally free. It's just your name and email. No credit cards required. You will be able to trade with us for a full 7 trading days, not just 7 days. It is a full 7 trading days. Weekends do not count against your trial. It is a full 7 days. So if you guys want to trade through earnings with us, don't hesitate. Jump on the trial now. Experience what it's like being part of the TTG community. Check out the TTG platform and all the amazing things that you guys have at your disposal. All right. So again, that is TTGTHREE.com. That's your trial, TTGTHREE.com. That is where you guys can go to get your free trial. Otherwise, you go to TTGoffer.com and you use the coupon code TTG121 in order to get the 50% discount, the free laptop, the double your money back guarantee, and access to my Head Start workshop. Man, Stan Stinson, you are an earnings machine, brother. Stan, thank you. Stan is dropping the heat. Dan's like, Bank of America is Monday morning before the close. Goldman Sachs is Monday morning before the close. I know tomorrow is Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. JP Morgan's the one that I care about the most. But Stan dropping the earnings calendar in chat. Stan the man. Bank of America and Goldman Sachs are going to be Monday morning. Right? And then you're going to get a lot of the rest. Jeremy Zutter. Okay, Jeremy Zutter, listen up, man. So Jeremy Zutter says, Mike, can I rejoin with coupon? I was a member. I need to come back. I don't need the laptop again. Listen, Jeremy, man, you know, I'm always happy when THD members find their way back home, man. You know, it says you need to come back. It sounds like you might have went somewhere else and might have ran into a couple landmines. So, you know, I'm sorry for whatever you just went through, man, but I'm more than happy to obviously have you back to the THD family, brother. Listen, Jeremy and anyone else that maybe used to be a member, or if you used to be a trial member and you guys, or even if you are currently a trial member, if you guys want access to this discount, Jeremy, send a text message right now, man, to 786-505-4221. If you said you don't need a laptop again because he already got one, just send a text message to that number, Jeremy. All right. And that'll go to Adam. Adam is sleeping right now because he's in Greece and it's in the middle of the night for him. But as soon as Adam wakes up in the morning, Jeremy, he'll respond to you. And he'll hook you up, man. I know you used to be a THD member. If you don't want the laptop again, we'll hook you up, man, and get you back into the THD fam. So Jeremy, send a text message. And this goes for anybody else that used to be a member, or if you used to be a trial member, you guys want to come back and take advantage of this deal, send a text to 786-505-4221. Just say, hey, Adam, you know, I was just on the live stream with Mike. He told me to hit you up. Used to be a member. I want to come back. Can you help me out? And we'll get you guys back in the THD family. All right, Jeremy? So again, Jeremy, that number is right on the bottom of your screen. Okay? Right on the bottom of your screen, 786-505-4221. All right, Jeremy? All right, guys. So, yes, Todd Frank, I got you, man. So like I was saying before, what would change my mind about this trade that I just gave you with the SPY? What would change my mind is if the consumer banks, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, if they say that the consumer's balance sheet still remains very strong, that their savings rates are still very high. If the consumer banks say that, which I don't think they're going to, I think the consumer banks are going to say that, yeah, the consumer is still in good shape, but they are weakening. Defaults are rising. I think that's what you're going to get from those consumer banks. But unless I'm wrong about that, that's the only way I change my thought process. Todd and everybody else. That's the only way that I change my thought process from, you know, being short, okay, and looking for put options on any bounce that you may get from a PPI number. That's the only way I change that thesis, is if the consumer banks say the consumer is actually still in really great shape. That's the only way that I change my thesis. Okay? But I don't think that's going to happen. And that's why I remain bearish. And I think under 373, I think we speed up. 373 is the key, right? So 373 is a major support level. If we break it, I think we flush. All right. That's it, folks. Thanks for joining us here this evening. That concludes the educational part of this live stream. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to show you the THD platform. So for everyone that's interested in actually seeing the platform, seeing the tools, seeing the resources, I'm going to actually show them to you. Okay. So if you're not interested in joining the THD platform, sign off the live stream, but subscribe first and smash the like button. Show me some love. I gave you guys a bunch of information here today. I'm definitely not going to get a like from Suck My NASDAQ. They're definitely not going to give me a like. I feel like I picked on them. But I got to give you a code word first. The code word for tonight, my TTG fam, is consumer. Consumer is the code word for tonight. Consumer. Consumer. Now, if you're not a member of True Trading Group, don't worry about this code word. This is for members only. Members of True Trading Group. We do a bunch of fun giveaways with them. This is part of one of those giveaways where we give away cash, we give away electronics. This code word is for one of those giveaways. If you're not a member, don't worry about it. The code word for tonight is consumer. Thank you for all my THD fam. All right. So guys, I'm going to show you the platform now. Like I said, if you're not interested in the membership, you can sign off. But like I said, subscribe to this damn channel. All right. Turn on your notifications. We do this 6 nights a week. Smash that like button. Show me some love. I love you back. Let's show you the platform now. All right. Because when you join, you get access to everything. There are no upsells for stuff, for courses and tools. Yes, we have stuff that costs more money, like a lifetime membership, which we're actually getting rid of, and Trader Paloozas. But the courses, the tools, that's all included with your membership for the 1100. Don't pay anything extra for that. You get our chat room, which every day the mods and I are in there sharing our screen. We're on the mic, calling out our trades. You get a mobile app that also lets you, as long as you have a phone, you can be connected to our chat room and get real-time push notifications whenever the moderators enter or exit a trade. So whenever the mods enter or exit a trade, you get a real-time push notification on the mobile app. You can also listen to the audio analysis because we talk to you during the day. You can listen to it, okay, every single day. All right. That's how our members are able to benefit and still have success here and participate in chat when they're working full-time jobs. Everybody welcome Whitney. Whitney's in the house. Whitney, new trial member. Welcome to the trial, Whitney. Guys, again, if you want to join our trial, you can go to ttgthree.com. That is ttgthree.com. It's totally free. Name and email is all you need for the trial. Get your butts in chat. These next 2 weeks are going to be huge. Remember, you get 7 trading days with us in chat. So go to ttgthree.com and use the mobile app as a trial member. See how it works for you while you're at work. Thank you, Carol. Carol says, Mike, I like the hat. Thank you, Carol. This is Carol's hat now. Thank you very much. Guys, so there's the chat room, right? What else do you get? 2 private study group sessions with our pro traders. This is so that you can ask questions and we can speed up your learning curve. Let's make sure that you're on the right track. You also get Benzinga Pro's real-time news feed. Okay. Chris, we got to welcome Chris, the newest member of the TTG fam. That means there's 6 laptops left. That is it, guys. 6. I'm not going to keep buying laptops. This is it. We got 6 of them here for this evening. As long as you see one in your checkout cart, that's how you know you're getting one. Chris, welcome to the family, my man. Guys, go to ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code, 50% discount, free laptop, double your money back guarantee. That's how we hold ourselves accountable. That's how strongly I believe in our ability to help you become successful, that I offer you a double your money back guarantee. I can't guarantee your success. Not everybody in True Trading Group is killing it. I'm fully transparent. I don't blow smoke up your ass. I can't say, hey, join True Trading Group, you're going to become a millionaire. But what I can say is join True Trading Group and you guys will get access to the education and the tools and the information that successful traders use to make better decisions that will greatly increase your chances of success. And if you don't make your $1,100 back at least once during your membership, I'll give you $2,200 back. That's the deal. That I can guarantee you. It's up to you. Ball's in your court. Back to what you get. Benzinga's newsfeed. Guys, if you went to Benzinga directly, this would cost you $1,400. Don't do that. It's free with your membership when you pay $1,100. We spent years building relationships with these companies to offer their products. TradingView. You're going to get their premium charting software. This will cost you a few $100. Don't do it. It's free with your membership when you pay $1,100 for True Trading Group. The Trade Ideas scanner, make sure you always focus on the hottest stocks during the day. It costs a few $100 a year. Don't do it. It's free with your membership when you join True Trading Group. We have a simulator that is the same simulator that is actually used in different universities across the country that will make you, or that will help you be able to trade stocks and options with real-time data, but with fake money. Use the simulator. Prove you can make money first on the simulator before you risk your hard-earned money. This simulator would cost you just under $1,000 a year if you went to ET&A, the company that offers it. If you go there directly, that's what you're going to spend. Don't do that. It is free with your membership when you pay $1,100 to True Trading Group. The value that you get at True Trading Group, folks, this is it. These things would cost you about $5,000 a year if you paid for them on your own. Why would you do that? even if you thought I was the worst trader that you've ever seen in your life, even if you thought Mike and his team of 8 professional traders that sport a collective win rate of just under 80%, even if you thought we totally sucked and never followed a single one of our trades, you'd be wrong if you thought that, by the way. But nonetheless, you're still getting $5,000 worth of value for just $1,100. Denise knows what's up. 5 laptops left. Everybody welcome Denise. There are now just 5 of those laptops left, guys. Go right now to ttgoffer.com. Enter the code TTG121. As long as you see a laptop in your checkout cart, that is how you know that you're getting one. There is only 5 of them left. And I'm still not done, because even after you get the simulator, you also get our proprietary scanner that lets you create custom scans and also lets you scan for crypto. You also get dark pool data, unusual options activity, short interest, insider buying, information that used to only be available to professionals. You're right. It was rigged against you. Professionals have access to information that you never had before. That ends today. That is why True Trading Group exists. That was our entire goal and mission as a company, is to level the playing field for retail. Of course, you don't have the same success rate as professionals because you don't have the same tools. Now you do. You even get a trading journal that tracks all of your trading so you can see statistics and figure out what you're doing wrong. Antonio Ricardo, do we need level 2 to be a successful trader? You know what, Antonio Ricardo? That solely depends on your trading style and the trading strategy that you implement. But guess what, man? It's totally free at True Trading Group. You get Quote Media's entire full book, real-time level 2. When I say full book, that means all market makers, ladies and gentlemen. It's free with your membership. You have any idea how much full book level 2 from Quote Media would cost you if you went to Quote Media directly? An absurd amount of money. It is free with your membership. We have negotiated the deals with all of these companies already, so you don't have to pay full price. It's like if I said to you, hey, you guys want a brand new Tesla Model 3? Well, you're in luck, because I've spent the last 5 years, 6 years of my life developing a relationship with Elon Musk. And I basically said, hey, Elon, I've got 9,600 people that want to buy a Tesla. I'll buy 9,600 of them right now for you, from you. Give me a discount. And then you guys say, I want to go buy a Model 3. It's 40 grand. And I'm like, why would you do that? I'll give it to you for 25 grand. That's the value. By the way, I really am super tight with Elon. Him and I are like this. Like this. It was my idea to not buy Twitter. I'm kidding. Okay. Totally kidding. I'm having fun tonight. I don't know why. I'm still not done, because even after you guys get a social sentiment scanner, the social sentiment scanner is an algorithm that actually scours through Reddit, StockTwits, and Twitter and will tell you which ticker symbol is mentioned most on those platforms so you can stay ahead of the crowd. You also get analyst ratings. Any stock you're interested in will show you how many analysts have a buy, sell, or hold rating. You get a watch list every day from the mods. We tell you what stocks we're watching and how we plan on trading them. And then you get all the courses. The courses are a simplified yet expanded upon version I learned working at the fund in New York. There's beginner courses, advanced courses, options, swing trading, trader psychology, crypto, you name it, we've got it in text and video. There are no upsells for courses. When you join, there's not like VIP or pro courses that cost more money. Every single course is included when you join True Trading Group. And then on top of that, you have a video library that is filled with about 300 hours of workshops and webinars that we've conducted with members, like how to grow a small account, how to trade while working a full-time job, how to resist FOMO, learning options, etc. And then you can attend all these when you become a full-time member. Attend them live. Attend them live. Folks, it's time you invested in something real, something that actually gives you value for your money. In a time right now where your money is getting you less, find things where your money gets you more. That is everything that you get with a membership to True Trading Group. Danny Noonan says, I've been a member of TTG for less than a year, and I'm serious. If you put effort in, you will be successful. This is an amazing group. And guys, don't just take my word for it or Danny. Danny's a stand-up guy. You should take his word for it. But go check us out on Trustpilot. We're 5-star rated. There's over 1,650 people that have given us a review. Go read them. There's no better referral than one of your peers. All right? So that's it, folks. Again, ttgoffer.com, ttg121. That's how you guys can get the discount, the free laptop, the double your money back guarantee. If anybody has questions, send a text message to 786-505-4221 and get your butts in chat. Guys, if I'm right about this, there's serious money to be made. Serious. And then not to mention, I'm going to start adding in my long-term portfolio again here very soon. And if you guys are members of True Trading Group, you'll get the entire list of the stocks that I'm adding in my long-term portfolio and the exact moments that I do it. You'll be alerted whenever I do that. All right. That's it, folks. Thanks for joining me. I hope this was helpful. Hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys got some benefit from this. I hope to see you guys in chat tomorrow. Big day. Earnings start. PPI data. You got the Fed meeting on July 27th. I'm telling you guys this now. Now is the time. Now is the time to be educated, to take advantage of lower stock prices. Everybody was so quick to jump into the market last year when markets were at all-time highs. Now is the time. Well, prices are down. Now is the time for you to learn. Now is the time for you to take advantage. Now. It wasn't last year. Last year was for the newbies. This year is for the people that know what they're doing. You know what you're doing, okay? I put a tweet out the other day, and it's the truth. And I don't mean this any offense to anybody, but it's just the truth. Raging bull markets make stupid people look smart. Bear markets and stock market crashes make stupid people look stupid, but it makes educated and prepared people wealthy. Because the people that are prepared and the people that are educated are able to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented because they're able to think with a clear head. They don't sit there and say, oh, someone on Twitter told me, or someone on StockTwits told me the stock market was going to go down 80% this year. So I'm going to take all my money out of the market. I'm going to stuff it under my mattress, and I'm going to wait for the market to go down 80%. And then the market never goes down 80%. And then in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, the market's back to all-time highs. And then that person says, oh, well, the market's doing really well, so let me take my cash out from under my mattress. Let me put it back into the market. Meanwhile, you just left the greatest opportunity, investing opportunity that you've had in your life, or in recent years at least, depending on how old you are, pass you by. Be greedy when others are fearful. Quote from Mr. Warren Buffett himself. Right now, everybody is scared. Everybody is scared. Pooping their pants. Recession, inflation, stagflation. World's ending. World's not ending. Mark, welcome to the trial. New trial member. New trial member. Mark, welcome. I'll see you in chat tomorrow, brother. Guys, that's it. ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. Otherwise, if you want the trial, ttgthree.com. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Louis Ruggiero says, do you guys do options every day? This is a question from Louis Ruggiero. Louis, every day in chat, brother. It's not just me, Louis. There's 8 other professional traders in chat. Every single day, we trade stocks, we trade options, we day trade, we swing trade. Every single day. There is something for everybody inside True Trading Group, regardless of your trading style. The moderators that are part of True Trading Group, we all have different trading styles. That is done very specifically by design because I want people that first are getting started, that are learning for the first time. It's very important that you have access to a variety of trading styles because not every trading style is going to work for you. You might go on YouTube and say, oh, wow, this person made 10 grand today. Let me follow them. But they might be a scalper, which is someone that gets in and out within seconds or minutes. And guess what, Louis? If you're a school teacher and you're teaching a science class for 4 hours or 5 hours out of the day, or if you're a police officer patrolling in a police car, or you're a lawyer fighting a case in court, you are not able to get in and out of a stock within seconds or minutes. So that trading style, no matter how hard you try, will never work for you. Finding your trader identity and the trading style and strategy that works for you is very, very, very important. It's actually one of the most leading causes why so many inexperienced traders fail, because they just go online and say, this person made money, let me copy what they did. But their strategy may not work for you. It may work very well for them, but not for you. You have to find the strategy that works for you. We will help you do that. Finding your trader identity is a huge part of the TC platform. It is why there are 8 other professional traders aside from myself. So you have exposure to a variety of styles to help find that identity. And for those of you that are already experienced traders that already have your identity, we want to make sure there's something for everybody inside your trading, whether you've never traded the stock a day in your life or you've been doing this for 15 years. So Louis, I hope that answers your question. I'll see you guys all in chat. Thank you guys. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. Don't ever miss this. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 8:30. We've got earnings. We've got PPI. I'll see you guys.